Okay guys, in this video I'm going to talk about Checkpoint Quantum Spark firewall models. There are 6 models available in the Quantum Spark security gateway family. So starting with 1530 appliance. So and you can see 1550, 1570, 1590, 1600 and 1800 models available under this Quantum Spark security gateways. So this smallest model is 1530 and it's good for the small businesses. And you can see if you go to the right side, and it will the performance and the size also increase. And you can propose this 1600, 800 for the medium sized businesses. So I'll discuss about this throughput, that means performance, in later. And you can see this 1500 series, and there are 4 models available under 1500 series: 1530, 550, 70 and 90. So these 4 models, desktop models, you can see these 1600 and 1800s are so 1U rack mountable models. Okay, and it has a more performance comparing with these models. Okay, so let's go and talk about each and every these in detail. So I'm starting with this 1500 series firewalls. So there are 2 models available. Actually I'm going to discuss about in this slide. The next slide I'm talk about 1570 and 1590 under this 1500 series. So this 1530, 1550, so you can see it available as a wired firewall or Wi-Fi firewall. That means so the 1530 wired model available, and also 1530 Wi-Fi model also available. So in the Wi-Fi models, built-in wireless adapter you can use for the wireless connectivity. So apart from that, it has 5 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports available for both these models, and both these models actually comes with a wired and the Wi-Fi favor, like I talked about earlier. And and also 1 gigabit Ethernet WAN port available for the internet connectivity. So you can use these LAN ports also for the internet connectivity if you want. That means if you have multiple internet connections, so you can configure this LAN port as a internet ports. Okay, so these are the fanless design, fanless model, and also plastic base. The front panel, it has 4 LEDs, and it has power button. You can power on and power off using this power button. And for the Wi-Fi models, actually it has 3 antennas like this. Okay, and then it has USB type C console port and USB 3 port. So this type C console port can be connected using the console cable, and then actually you can access the checkpoint console using the console port. So next generation thread prevention performance is 450 megabit per second. Okay, so let me zoom in bit. You can see these are the LAN ports. You can see 5 LAN ports available, 1 gigabit Ethernet speed, and 1 WAN port available here. So it's speeded 1 gigabit Ethernet. So if you have multiple internet connections, you can plug into here 5 or 4. So you can edit, you can use this LAN port as a internet ports if you want, if you have the multiple internet connections. So you can see this is the type C console port, and this one is the power adapter. Okay, and there are factory default button also available. You can use this factory default to button to reset to factory default setting. And this one is the USB 3 port. And this is the front model. You can see the 4 LEDs here. Okay, and it has 1530 and 1550. It's more identical model. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the rest of the models under this 1500, 1570 and 1590. So you can see comparing that earlier models, it has more ports. You can see so here actually guys, both these models come in as a Wi-Fi or wired device, and plus this support LTE also. and that's mean it support the 4G connection. And for that it has dual SIM. You can insert 2 nano or micro SIM to here and use as a 4G connection for the internet. And so compared with that other models on the 1500 series, it has 8 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports. So its speed is 1 gigabit Ethernet. It has 8 ports, and plus it has one WAN port. Its speed is 1 gigabit Ethernet, and then DMZ port. It's a combo port. That's mean it has gigabit Ethernet and slash SFE. That's mean you can use as a SFE or RJ45 port. Only one can operate at a time when plug and connected. Okay, so that's the thing is for this DMZ port. If I zoom it, so you can see these ports here. There are 8 ports available for the Ethernet, 1 gigabit Ethernet, and this is the WAN port, 1 gigabit Ethernet WAN port, and DMZ port. This is the combo port I talk about. So you can use one port at one particular time. So for example, if you have the RJ45 connected here and also SFE port connected here, and you can only use one. That's mean only this RJ45 or this fiber port, SFE port. This fiber port, that's mean SFE port is supported maximum of 10 gigabit Ethernet supported. That's mean the speed supported. And here, so you want to buy transceiver. That's mean transceiver not included with this model. So you need to buy it separately, from the checkpoint. Okay. So apart from that, it has console port, a micro USB console port, and then USB 3 ports available. And this one is the factory port settings, and it has 4 antennas, especially in the wireless model. It has 4 antennas. So wireless models, that's mean it's at built-in wireless adapter available for wireless connectivity. And then this one, like I talk about, 4 antennas available here, and it's lightweight, and it's panelless model and aluminum based design. And on the front panel it has 4 to 5 LEDs, and you can see the USB type C port and USB 3 port available, and SD card also supported here. The performance of next generation threat prevention threat port performance is 660 for this model. Okay, and that's about the 1500 series. So if I talk about the 1600 series, this one is rack mountable series. So under this 1600 is one new rack mountable unit, and the network interfaces, it has 16 1 gigabit Ethernet interfaces available for the LAN connectivity, and it has one WAN port. That's mean it combo port. Actually WAN port is combo port. It comes with gigabit Ethernet or SFE port, SFE fiber port. Okay, combo port means like I talk about SFE and RJ45, only one can operate at a time when plugged and connected. Okay, and then for the SMP also that DMZ port also combo port. That's mean 1 gigabit Ethernet or SFE port. Okay, so let me zoom it. So you can see these are the 16 LAN ports here, and then these are the combo port. That means WAN combo port and DMZ combo port for this firewall. You can see the console console port. This one is the type C console port, and this one is RJ45 console port, and you can see the USB 3 ports available, and this one is the factory default button, and this one is the SD card. You can insert SD card to here. Okay, so actually it has one power supply actually. So it runs Gaia embedded OS, and it has PANs. This is a PAN based model, and you can manage this firewall using the local web interface or centrally using the cloud. Okay, so let's talk about the 1800 series, like 1600, and this one also rack mountable series, one new rack mountable series, and it has network interfaces up to 16 gigabit Ethernet LAN ports available, and also it has 2.5 gigabit two LAN ports also. Okay, that's mean total number of 18 LAN ports available, 16 1 gigabit LAN ports plus 2.5 two LAN ports available for LAN. Okay, and then for the WAN, actually it's combo port. You can see two combo ports available for gigabit Ethernet or SAP port you can use, and for the DMC it's 10 gigabit Ethernet combo port there. That means you can use RJ45 or SAP port, that's mean fiber port, and then it has one management port. So let me zoom it. So you can see these are the 18 ports I talk about. 18 ports. You can see this 1 and 2 are 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port, and these are 1 gigabit Ethernet 16 ports. Okay, and then it has two WAN combo ports. This one is one combo port, and this one is other combo port. Two WAN combo port. Okay, you can use as a RJ45. This one is RJ45, and this one is the fiber. Okay, you need to buy transceiver. You need to insert this transceiver to here. Okay, then you can connect SFE port fiber port to here, and it supported 10 gigabit Ethernet. Okay, so if you use the fiber, otherwise this one is only 1 gigabit Ethernet. Okay, only one can use. And then you can see that this one is combo port DMC 10 gigabit Ethernet supported for this combo port, and you can see this one is the console, and this one is management port, and this one is factory default, and this one also the mini console port, and this one is the USB 3 port. So if I go to left side, you can see this one is the SD card. Okay, in this 1800 series actually, so like I talk about the console port, and it's run Gaia embedded OS, and it has a power on off switch, and it's pan based model, pans available for the cooling, and the one important thing, it has two power supply. One is redundant power supply available for this model. Okay, so it has two power supply actually, one is redundant one, and it has SSD storage compared with the other models, and it has SSD storage. Okay, and you can manage via the local or centrally cloud. And when it comes to sizing, so these are the number of users we can use for this model. So if you have the your organization has up to 30 users, you can use this 1530. So if you have more than 30, don't use this 1530. So because this one is for recommended generally for the 30 users. Okay, so if you have more than 30, between the 50, below 50 or higher than the 30, then use this 1550 5 watt. So between the 50 to 70, then use this 1570, and 70 to 90 you can use 1590, and then if you have the 90 to 300 users, use this 1600 series. If you have the 300 to 500, you can use this 1800 series firewall. So if you have more than 5000 users, then you can actually prefer Checkpoint enterprise models. Okay, and up to 500 users, you can use this Quantum Spark security gateways for, that means SMB market. Okay, these are the number of users. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the performance of these firewalls. So performance, there are criteria we need to talk about when we measure this performance. Actually you heard about this throughput earlier. Okay, so what is that actually the firewall throughput? So firewall throughput generally we measured actually quoted as a megabit per second or gigabits per second. That is the measuring element we use. And actually the firewall throughput means the volume of traffic that can pass through the firewall at one specific time. Actually the firewall throughput we measured without any extra protection. That means so when you disable the security, that means the protection features of firewall, on that particular time we measure this firewall throughput. So we call actually as a raw firewall throughput equivalent to firewall throughput. That's mean we didn't use this protection modules in the firewall. The volume of traffic that can pass through the firewall at one particular time, that is the firewall throughput. So when it comes to threat protection throughputs, that mean all the threat protection modules are enabled in this scenario. At that time, if you measure the firewall throughput, that will be the threat protection throughput. Okay. And when we talk about checkpoint, so smart accel is new feature, so we can use with this threat prevention. So threat prevention with smart accel means, let me talk about the smart accel before. It's actually new acceleration technique which can increase the gateway performance of quantum spark models. It accelerates the processing of low risk application like Zoom and Netflix. That means, so if if your users are browsing the Zoom or Netflix, that means well known application like YouTube, Netflix, Zoom. In that scenario, the processing of this traffic, it's actually the low risk applications. These Zoom, Netflix are low risk applications. So firewall can identify those applications and it can accelerate the processing of this traffic. So that's the smart accel. Okay. So if we talk about the next generation firewall throughput, that's mean actually it measured when the IPS, that mean intrusion prevention system, and the application control are enabled in that particular time. If we measure the throughput, that will be the next generation firewall throughput. So hope you clear about these throughput scenarios, that is for the performance. So what I want to talk about in terms of performance, these are the performance options available. You can see the threat prevention with smart accel. So I talked about earlier. Okay, this protection testing condition I talk about this slide. So actually all of these models, you can see 1530. This smart accel with threat prevention is 440, and so if you talk about threat prevention throughput here is 340. So if you enable the smart accel, so this throughput will be increased to 440. That's how the performance will be increased using the smart accel. Okay, you just want to enable the smart accel. In that scenario, the gateway performance will be increased. That means the acceleration happen and your throughput will be increased to 440. Okay, and same as this 1550, you can see the threat prevention throughput is 450. If you enable the smart accel, it will increase to 585, and here 650, and here 860, and this one is 2000 megabit per second, and this one is 2600 megabit per second. Okay, the comparison between these, you can see the series comparison, and you can see the next generation firewall throughput for here 1530, it's 600, and so if you go to the right side, so 1800 has 5000 megabit per second, the next gen firewall throughput available for this model. And this one is firewall throughput actually. That is all the protection features are disabled in this scenario. The throughput, that means the traffic can handle for this 1530 is 1000 megabit traffic can be handled at 1 second. And if you talk about this 1550, you can see the throughput is same, file throughput is same, and 1570 is 2800, and so if you talk about the 1600 is 4800, and 1800 is 7500 megabit per second file throughput for this model. And these are the testing condition, and it used 1580 UDP packet for this testing scenarios. Okay, and so if you talk about the connection per second means how many connection it can handle for one particular second. So you can see 1530, it can handle 10,500 connection, new connection per second. Okay, and the 1550, so you can see 14,000 new connections can be handled for one particular second. So if you talk about the 1070, it's 15,750, and this one is 21,000, 55,000, and this one is 66,000. So 1800 actually. So it can handle 66,000 of new connection per second. So if we talk about the concurrent connections, it can handle 1530, it's 5 lakhs actually. And if we talk about the 1800, it's 2.4 million connection. Concurrent connection can be handled for this 1800 series. Okay, so if you talk about the software, that's mean you need to buy this subscription software. That mean the blades you need to buy. I will talk about the next video in detail about the licensing options on this checkpoint series. So you can see these are the blades: firewall blade, VPN blade, user awareness blade, QoS application control, URL filtering, and then the threat prevention blades: IPS, antibot, AV, email security, and sandblast, threat emulation, sandboxing, blade. So these are protection features you need to buy separately for the security purposes. And then you can see the unicast and multicast routing options. That means it support dynamic routing, okay, OSPF and BGP and IGMP. Likewise, it's supported. And this one is number of mobile access user license. That means the remote access user limit for these models. This 1530, it can handle 100 mobile access user licenses for SSL VPN, and this one is 100, this one is 200, and this 1800 is it can handle 500 remote access licenses. Okay, so for the hardware you can see 5 number of 1 gigabit Ethernet for this 1530, and this 1550 also 5. So this one is 8 gigabit Ethernet, and this one also 8 gigabit Ethernet, and this one is 16 number of gigabit Ethernet ports, and this one is 16 gigabit Ethernet ports plus 2.5 2 LAN ports also available for this 1800 series. Okay, so you can see the WAN ports, number of WAN ports here. This one is combo port. Okay, this one also combo port. Okay, and then Wi-Fi model, you can see this 1500 series, it has Wi-Fi model, and this 1600 and 1800 only the wired model. It doesn't have Wi-Fi module. Okay, and DSL also and LTE, you can see those options available this under this 1570 and 1590. And then console port, USB port, and SD card. You can see it's not available. SD card is not available this 1530 and 1050. All other models available. And SSD only comes with this 1800 to 256 GB SSD drive for the hard disk. And number of power supply, you can see each of these models has a one power supply, and 1800 series it has 2 power supplies. Okay, so that about this Quantum Spark appliances comparison. Thank you very much.